Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is September 23rd, 2021, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at today's market highlights, the market surge after FOMC makes an announcement that's going to taper off, which is good for the markets. Now, looking at the major economic events of the day, starting at 9:30 South African time out of the European Union, we have German flash manufacturing and services PMI results coming out. And then at 1 p.m. South African time, out of Great Britain, we have an asset purchase facility coming out. Now, looking at the markets, the majors bounce off of support when it comes to the Forex symbols in the indices. Both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ surge higher after this FOMC announcement. Looking at commodities, gold retraces, oil rallies to resistance. And looking at the stock, Microsoft gains while Facebook slumps. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, nice continuing rally. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're looking here at a daily chart of the Euro USD, and this is really very perfect. Okay, we hit support, and right off of support, we bounced off of it. And this is like almost to be anticipated. Now, it's not a major bounce. It was a 20 to 30 pip bounce, albeit, okay, but it's still a bounce and it didn't retrace further, okay? It may still break down, but this is something to consider as we're trading at this area. Now, looking at the other major pairs versus the USD, the Aussie dollar did bounce as well, but not that much, okay? You see, that consolidation here at 72.33-ish level. And looking at the GBP, which is having major news coming out today, that's a bona fide support level. Look at that. I mean, it's 136.24, and that was a decent support level to buy off of it. Now, this is not a major bounce. Again, bouncing from 136.24 to 136.50 is a 24 pip bounce. Okay, so relatively, until we get that momentum on the upside, I think we're going to be hanging out here further. Now, the GBP is having a major number coming out today, which is the asset facility purchases, if they're going to do it or not going to do it, to the extent they're going to do it. There's one or two ways central governments actually control the flow of money. Interest rates is one, and purchasing their own currency is the other, or printing more currency. Okay, either adding more money into the markets or taking money out of the markets. Okay, it's one of the two ways that you're able to actually stifle. I don't want to say manipulate, because manipulate insinuates something negative, but it's a way that the central banks actually control the money supply and inflation. Okay, so that is what's happening today. So it's really a major number. Now, looking at gold, the gold bouncing off of that support at 1749, but then not really getting much of a bounce. It's challenging that 760, and this may be a point where we break down on the downside here. Now, looking at oil, a nice little rally to 72.55. We're retracing here, but still it's on an upwards momentum. Okay, so I would like to see a challenge to 72.75, 72.97 again on the upside. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, this is where we're at. We're trading at 34,432, 334 right now, and just off of our lows over 500 points. Okay, this was a really big bounce. Okay, all together. Okay, going from 33,671 double bottom and then rallying. I mean, this you could almost write up. Okay, we have some more room to rally, obviously, as this has lost over almost 2,000 points from its highs of 35,500-ish level. Okay, we are about 1,000 points off of that. So there's still room for this to correct itself. You know, we're in a very bearish time of the year. September, October, November has historically been a sell-off type of environment that we've been in before. So the question is whether or not we're going to continue seeing this type of sell-offs, okay, going into the next month, into the next 7 weeks. Now, looking at the NASDAQ being the stronger one, actually bouncing a little bit stronger than the Dow and not selling as aggressively as the Dow. And if we look at the individual stocks, Facebook though, okay, if we look at Microsoft, nice little bounce, 297, you get that bounce, you get that and closing the gap here at 297. But when we look at Facebook, dead in its waters. And this is really part of the reason is that it seems that the cryptocurrencies are going to be much more regulated than was previously thought. Okay, it's just a matter of time. And sure enough, here in Facebook, you do see that, because one of the alluring factors of Facebook is that it was going to come out with its own cryptocurrency. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, as we look at Apple, did get that bounce, also closing in that gap on 144, but I'd like to see this rally extended. When we look at the big board stocks, if we look at JP Morgan, it did get that rally up to 155. Alcoa as well, also hanging out near its highs. So the stocks are relatively still strong, just the indices need to catch up at a certain point. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, a nice little rally here at 44,000 after we're bounced from 40,000. Okay, I do expect it to continue rallying. Remember, 47 to 48,000 is that next real resistance-ish level. There's a minor resistance-ish level right now at 44,000, but we still have way to go. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.